Your new kitten is under the bed, and you have no idea what you did wrong. You brought them home, you set everything up, the bed, the toys, the food, in exactly the right spot. You were careful, quiet, gentle, and the moment you opened that carrier, they bolted straight under the furniture, into the darkest corner they could find, and they have not come out since. Most owners do the same thing at this point. They get down on the floor, they try to reach in, they call the kitten's name, offer treats, maybe even try to pull them out gently because the hiding feels like a problem that needs to be fixed right now. And every single one of those things makes it worse. Here is what nobody tells you when you bring a kitten home for the first time. The hiding is not a sign that something went wrong. It is not a sign that your kitten is traumatized or sick, or that they will never trust you. It is not about you at all. It is about something happening inside your kitten that has nothing to do with what you did or did not do. And once you understand what that actually is, the way you handle these first days will change completely. Have you ever watched your kitten freeze the moment a sound came from another room? Or seen them eat a few bites and then disappear again before you even moved? That is not random behavior. There is a very specific reason it happens, and it runs deeper than fear. What is actually going on inside your kitten right now is something most owners never find out, and not knowing it is exactly why so many people accidentally turn 3 days of hiding into 3 weeks. Your kitten is not hiding from you. They are hiding from everything. That distinction matters more than it sounds. When a kitten arrives in a new home, their nervous system does something very specific. It shifts into a state researchers call sensory overload response. Every smell is unrecognized. Every sound is unclassified. Every surface is new data that has not been processed yet. In plain language, your kitten's brain is receiving more information than it can handle at once, and hiding is the only way it knows how to pause that input. It has nothing to do with trust, nothing to do with you. It is a biological reset. Think about what your home actually smells like to a kitten arriving for the first time. Your scent, the scent of everyone who lives there, cleaning products, food, furniture, air freshener. Every single one of those smells is completely foreign, and a kitten's nose is 14 times more sensitive than yours. Now think about the sounds, the refrigerator hum, the pipes, the neighbor's door closing 2 floors up, traffic outside, your voice, which they have heard maybe twice before. All of it hitting at the same time with no reference point for what any of it means. Pay attention to this. The corner under the bed is not a place your kitten ran to in fear. It is the one spot in your entire home where the sensory input drops to a level their nervous system can actually manage. Dark, enclosed, minimal airflow, sounds muffled. It is not retreat, it is regulation. And here is what changes everything about how you should respond to it. Your kitten is not waiting for you to convince them to come out. They are waiting for the environment to become predictable enough that coming out feels safe on their own terms. Every time you try to speed that process up, reaching in, calling out, offering food right at the edge of their hiding spot, you are adding new sensory data to a system that is already at capacity. The hiding is not the problem. The hiding is the solution your kitten found on their own. And there is something very specific you can do or stop doing that determines how long it lasts. There is a moment that happens with almost every new kitten, and most owners miss it completely because they are not watching for the right thing. It is not the moment the kitten finally comes out. It is what happens right before. Your kitten will start testing the edges of their hiding spot before they ever leave it. One paw out, head low, nose working, eyes tracking everything in the room without the body committing to movement. They are not being cautious. They are running a very deliberate scan, checking whether the environment has become consistent enough to be worth entering. What they are scanning for is not safety in the way humans think about it. They are scanning for sameness, for a room that looks, smells, and sounds roughly the same as it did the last time they checked. Consistency to a kitten's nervous system is what safety actually feels like. And here's the part that changes what you do in those first days. Every time you walked past that hiding spot without stopping, without reaching in, without making it an event, your kitten registered that. Every time the room stayed relatively quiet and your movements stayed predictable, your kitten registered that too. You were not ignoring them, you were building the most important thing those first days require, a pattern they could count on. Ethologists who study feline development call this the establishment of environmental anchors, fixed points a young cat uses to decide whether a space is worth inhabiting. Your presence, moving calmly and consistently through the home, became one of those anchors before your kitten ever approached you directly. That is why some kittens come out on day 2 and others take 2 weeks. It is rarely about the kitten's personality. It is almost always about whether the environment gave them enough repetition to start predicting it. Right now, write in the comments how long it took your kitten to come out and the first thing they did when they finally did. That moment looks different for every cat, and I want to know what yours did, because what comes next is the part most owners get completely wrong even after the kitten comes out. The mistake most owners make after the kitten comes out is treating it like a finish line. The kitten is out, they ate in the open, they walked across the room, and the owner, relieved, shifts into a different mode. More interaction, more handling, more trying to accelerate the bonding because the hard part finally feels over, and the kitten goes back into hiding, not because something scared them, because the environment just became unpredictable again at the exact moment their nervous system was starting to trust it. Here is what those first days actually require from you. Move through your home like your kitten is already there, not like you were waiting for them to appear. Keep your routines consistent. Eat at the same time. Watch TV at the same volume. Walk the same paths through the house. Your kitten is mapping your patterns before they ever interact with you directly. The more consistent those patterns are, the faster their nervous system decides the space is worth inhabiting fully. When your kitten is in the open, resist the impulse to approach. Let them set the distance. If they move toward you, stay still. Let them sniff your hand, your leg, whatever they reach first. Do not reach back. The moment you reach toward a kitten that has not decided to fully trust you yet, you collapse the distance they chose. And distance right now is how they feel in control. There is one more thing: talk. Low voice, no urgency, no performance. Your kitten does not understand the words, but your voice is one of the few things in that overwhelming new environment that can become familiar quickly. Every time they hear it at a low, calm register, without anything alarming following it, it moves one step closer to becoming a sound that means safe. Your kitten is not broken. They are not rejecting you. They are doing the most sophisticated thing their nervous system knows how to do, carefully deciding whether this new world is worth trusting. And every quiet, consistent, unhurried thing you do in these first days is answering that question directly. You are not waiting for your kitten to come around. You are already showing them that you are worth coming out for. Tell me in the comments, what did you do in those first days that you wish someone had told you earlier? I want to read it. And if you want to keep understanding what your cat is telling you, the signals that are easy to miss, the language most owners never learn, subscribe. That is exactly what this channel is here for.